Out of the quarterback class of 2012, Ryan Tannehill, a starter since game one as a rookie, now trying to get Miami back to the playoffs. And back here at MetLife Stadium, time for tonight's Subway Fresh Take. And John, when we talk about the development of Tannehill, interesting to look at how he's developing and maybe more importantly, who is trying to mold this quarterback.
Yeah, he's had a lot of great training. Mike Sherman, the man who coached Brett Favre, Joe Philbin has coached Aaron Rodgers, the great Dan Marino is in the quarterback meetings, and now Bill Lazor, the new Dolphin offensive coordinator, is running some versions of the West Coast offense. I'm seeing X shallow cross, a pattern I learned 20 years ago. They're trying to hit the tight end over the ball, and if he's not open, hit Ryan Hartline on a shallow cross. This looks like Joe Montana hitting John Taylor in 1987. I love that play. I'm also seeing Y-stick bingo. You pick a side. You can throw the two-receiver slant combination. That's the bingo. Or you can pick the Y-stick side. Ryan Tannehill surveys the defense. He throws the Y-stick combination to perfection. Off they go. They're running West Coast offensive principles. But I'm also seeing some read option. And it's the combination of the West Coast offense and a read option that is killing defenses. Tannehill has 276 yards rushing. But the one thing I'd like to see Tannehill do better is perform at crunch time in the fourth quarter. Last year, an interception late doomed the Dolphins. Jets intercepted it and went on with a win. And then last week with the game on the line, another costly fourth quarter interception that doomed the Miami Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill is on the rise, but I think Dolphin fans would love to see him take his game to another level down the stretch.
And I think we both agree his play is essential to the Dolphins' December potential playoff run, which starts here tonight against the Jets. Tannehill and Miami got a lot of help, John, yesterday with what happened around the AFC. That gives them a much better light looking in the playoff picture. You see the four division leaders on the left, and then the two teams for the moment in the wild card spot. Kansas City lost yesterday, so did Baltimore, and Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. So Miami can join the group at 7-5 and put 6 teams in that spot. Now, a lot could still happen, but tiebreaker-wise, the end of the night, Miami could find themselves in that last wild card spot heading to the final quarter of the season. So a ton on the line for the Dolphins here tonight. Time for the national anthem. Let's join the public address announcer, Alex Anthony Tsoukas.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps as our nation's flag was unfurled by 150 Jets season ticket holders. And our nation's colors are presented tonight by the Hofstra University ROTC. Now to honor America, please join us in the singing of our national anthem, to be performed tonight by the lead singer of the multi-platinum band Goo Goo Dolls. Please welcome John Resnick.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's some good music in the last half hour. Coverage of tonight's national anthem has been presented by USAA. Set for the Jets and the Dolphins next on Monday Night Football.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Overcast and cool here tonight. Rex Ryan and the Jets questions about their future, but Lisa Salters, they still have to deal with the present.
Mike, tonight could be Rex Ryan's last primetime game as head coach of the New York Jets. It's something he is very well aware of and not afraid to talk about. But Ryan insists that he is not throwing in the towel on this season. He said everyone in the team feels horrendous about having just 2 wins, but each week he keeps thinking they're going to turn things around. And that's why Ryan said this season has been so tough, because he doesn't think the Jets are as bad as their record. In fact, he said, I know we're not that bad, but in this league, you are who your record says you are, which is why, though the Jets' practices, they remain upbeat and players seem engaged and energized, Ryan understands it will be an uphill battle to keep his job. Nonetheless, he told us, I ain't dead yet, and I'm going to fight it all the way. Mike?
And you can see, at least as he's greeting his players, his fellow coaches, there's still that enthusiasm that has come to define the Ryan term here in New York. Miami won the toss, deferred the option, so the Jets will get it first. And Percy Harvin traded from Seattle to the Jets, set to receive. The kickoff is a pooch to keep it away from Harvin as this game gets underway. And a bouncing ball picked up by Bilal Powell will be kept shy of the 20-yard line. So good job by the kicker, Caleb Sturgis of the Dolphins. Welcome back, Geno Smith, a guy who grew up so close to Sun Life Stadium in South Florida that he could sit on the hood of his mom's car and watch the big screen. Well, he was watching from the sidelines for the last 3 games while Michael Vick took over. And now Geno is back as quarterback for the Jets.
He needs some success early, Mike. His last time out was a disaster. Got to protect the football.
Drive start for the -19. Their own 19. And it's a run for about 6 yards with Chris Ivory just past the 25-yard line. So Ivory will share the running load with Chris Johnson, protected by these men, Ferguson and Mangold, the left tackle and the center, those 2 veterans. Percy Harvin you'll hear from. On the opposite side, Jeremy Curley and Eric Decker, the receivers. Early on, the Jets have jumped into a no huddle after a gain of 7, and we have a flag.
This is a 12 in the huddle against the Jets on the second play of the game, Mike. They had 12 in the huddle, and it was pointed out clearly by the Dolphins sideline.
You know, Miami has 12 as well, and Geno Smith in conversation over there. Miami snuck a player off there as the officials were having a conversation. Very funny, and now they're saying what's going on. We had this issue obviously at the end of the game in Tampa yesterday. There were clearly 12 Dolphins on the field, and they walked one off as the officials were in conversation. Now, upstairs in the replay booth, they're supposed to be counting as well to let everyone know how many players are on the field in case they go to replay.
There's no foul on the play for 12 in the defense. The offense was substituting. It's second down.
When the snap is imminent and you have 12 on the field, there's supposed to be a flag. The Jets were out there in this no huddle with Marty Morningwig, ready to go, and they wipe it off and will say nothing ever happened. Percy Harvin moves out of the backfield, and they'll hand it to Jeremy Curley. Big run, Curley. Escorted to the sideline at the 44. That's a first down for the Jets and a gain of 18.
Marty Morningwig is going to pull out all the stops tonight. The offensive coordinator of the Jets. Watch Curley come on the end around. It's a Statue of Liberty, Mike. Geno Smith fakes a little bubble screen and over the top handoff, and off goes Curley.
Chris Johnson is now the back, and Smith will throw complete to Eric Decker. Is that midfield? First down gain of a half dozen thrown by Smith.
I like what they're doing with Geno Smith. He's got to rely on the system, rely on his teammates. Do not press. He's playing for a job. There's a lot of pressure on him, but he's going to have to manage a lot of offense and try to keep this Dolphin defense off balance.
Into Miami territory, stretching it with Ivory to the left. They get another first down. It's down to the Dolphins 43. Louis Delmas made the stop. Let's talk about Miami. There's a key player to look at in the back end. Cameron Wake, outstanding defensive end in the pass rush. There are linebackers together most of the year. Wheeler, BC, and Jenkins. Brent Grimes second in the NFL, 5 INTs. But on the other side, R.J. Stanford, he was not employed by the Dolphins on Monday. They signed him Tuesday, and here he is starting his first game this year that he's playing on Monday Night Football. First down from the 43, and Ivory turns his back as he gets hit by Koamisi and Rashad Jones.
Dolphins are going to have to do what they just did there. They're going to have to use Jones and Delmas, these two safeties, to stop Chris Ivory, who's averaging nearly 5 yards a carry. Glad to see the Jets leaning on Ivory, who is a physical downhill back, and Miami struggled stopping a run last week.
Percy Harvin lines up in the slot. Brent Grimes goes with him, and Smith throws this leg. Decker cannot hang on, and it's incomplete, and it is Stanford. That player signed just 6 days ago, helping out on coverage.
Well, Decker needs to pick Geno Smith up. You got a struggling quarterback. Make a play for him. That ball's thrown well enough for Decker to catch it. Should have been a first down. And now on 3rd down and 9, look for defensive coordinator Kevin Coyle to come after Geno Smith and knock him out of field goal position.
Many Dolphin fans here tonight. The pressure comes. Smith hit as he throws. Too tall for Decker. And incomplete. The linebackers with the pressure in the middle. Jelani Jenkins gets there, and the Jets will punt.
Jelani Jenkins, number 53, has emerged as not only the leading tackler of the Miami Dolphins, but a Pro Bowl candidate. That time he beats the back in protection easily, and Miami's off the field.
The rookie out of LSU, Jarvis Landry, is back. Ryan Quigley will try to pin the Dolphins deep. An Australian rules football type end-over-end kick. They're caught at the 12 by Landry and Ryan Tannehill, and the Dolphins get on the field for the first time. ESPN Monday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. Enter the Never Say Never sweepstakes for a chance to win a 2015 GMC vehicle at gmc.com/NFL. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. And NFL Shop. Order today and get a special discount at the official store of the NFL. Great scene in Times Square. Come on, cross the river to MetLife Stadium. And our coverage from Spider Camp tonight brought to you by DirecTV. Didn't start raining until about 5:30 or 6 o'clock a few hours ago. The rain should stop somewhere around halftime. Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphins take over at their own 13-yard line. His first pass complete to the 20-yard line as Mike Wallace is able to pull in the reception for Tannehill. John, the 8th overall pick in the 2012 draft, having his best of his first 3 seasons in the league.
He's become a real quick decision maker in this offense. Accurate passer. He's smart. Can handle a lot of football, Mike. Love to see him improve his deep ball accuracy and hit one tonight.
Rookie Jarvis Landry moving out of the backfield and out wide as the hand goes to Lamar Miller, who was pulled down by Sheldon Richardson, the Jets' first-round pick last year out of Missouri. Up front for Miami, they've had to put Jawan James from right tackle to left tackle after the injury to Brandon Albert. Joins the group change this year up front. Miller and Thomas split it in the backfield. Wallace, Landry, and Hartline catch it. Deion Sims starts tonight as Charles Clay, their regular starting tight end, is out with injury. Hamstring injury keeps Bill Lazor's tight end of choice out of this one. 3rd and 2. Pressure from the Jets, picked up by the Dolphins. Tannehill has to escape, put it up for grabs, and Wallace can't pull it in. It'll be a 3-and-out forced by this Jets defense.
Jets have struggled with their 3rd down defense, among other things, this year. Critical 3-and-out stop to set up Curley, who's a good punt returner.
So Miami's punter, Brandon Fields, a Pro Bowler, last year has not had a very good season kicking it. Line drive, 55 yards, backpedaling Curley at the 25. They lose the tackle and gets out of bounds at the 30 for a return of 5. We have 3 flags, all thrown near the 40-yard line.
During the kick, holding by the return team, number 54. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. New York's ball, first down. Timeout.
Below the penalty, long field for Geno Smith and the Jets. One of the memorable moments of this rivalry, the 20th anniversary this week, the fake spike. Dolphins trying to rally down 24-6. Marino leading them back. Bernie Kosar was the backup, kind of sent in the idea to Marino. He yelled clock, clock, clock like he was going to spike it. Instead fires to Mark Ingram for a stunning touchdown. The Dolphins won that game, and there is Dan Marino, now a special advisor to the Dolphins owner Stephen Ross, and here on hand tonight watching this game. That fake spike sent the Jets into a 4-33 spiral. The run by Chris Johnson for about 3 yards. It's been a quiet season for Chris Johnson. We know of his success. Once a 2,000-yard rusher for Tennessee. He's only averaging 8 carries and 36 yards a game.
It's been very frustrating for him when you have 6 1,000-yard seasons in a row. And you come to New York, you expect to make an impact. He has not made his presence felt, but in credit to Chris Johnson, he's made no negative noise at all.
On 2nd and 6, trying to get to the outside. He is stopped. Randy Starks, the 11-year veteran from Maryland.
Randy Starks' plays are diminishing. They use him as a run defender, and you can see why. Number 94, top of your screen. On the backside of this counter play, rejects it. Starks is off the field, and now you see the specialty pass rushers for the Miami Dolphins.
Highlighted by number 91, Cameron Wake. Rushing from the top of your screen on 3rd and 7. Kept away, and the pass is complete for the first down to Bilal Powell in that 3rd down role for the Jets. Keeps this drive going.
The Jets have struggled in pass protection. Take a look on the right side of your screen. Reno Giacomini against Cameron Wake, doing a nice job with help from Bilal Powell, and you love to see Geno Smith get to an alternate receiver. Good north-south finish by Bilal Powell.
What's the term for that? What the running back just is? A
chip.
Chip. There's a difference. But it's effective with that rushing lineman in the ribs. Percy Harvin takes the handoff and runs to the 33-yard line. Gain of a half dozen. This is Harvin's 5th game with the Jets after the trade from Seattle. Still trying to figure out what his role is here in New York.
What is Percy Harvin? He's a running back in some formations. He's a wide receiver. Then he's a slot receiver. He's a punt returner. He's got 5 weeks as an audition with these Jets to prove he's worth that price tag he carries.
Owes $10 million next year. Johnson into the secondary. Good dash by Chris Johnson. Using that speed as he breaks across the 30 and to the 21-yard line. That's the Chris Johnson the Jets thought they were getting. 46 yards worth there.
In Miami, gashed again with another long run. You're going to see the left guard, Abouche, pull on the point of attack. And Chris Johnson cuts this play back. How about that move against Louis Delmas? There's another one. 3 times he's played against the Miami Dolphins, and all 3 times Chris Johnson has ripped them for over 100 yards. He's on his way to another big night.
We know one of the best home run hitters from the running back position in league history, an NFL record 6 rushing touchdowns over 80 yards. And it's a Greg Salas coming around. Salas has blockers inside the 10. Jets score first.
Nobody in the state of Florida expected the Jets to run a reverse with Greg Salas. You get the running game going, Mike. You get the linebackers and the support to go that way. And here's Greg Salas fooling the backside defensive end, Dion Jordan. That was a walk-in touchdown. Beautiful block by DeBrickashaw Ferguson and number 44, Zach Sudfeld. Well done.
Salas, who had success as a rookie with St. Louis, been with the Jets the last couple of seasons. Extra point added by Nick Folk. And the Jets score halfway through the quarter. Geno Smith back in charge. Hands it to Salas, who gets his first NFL touchdown. 7-0, Gang Green. Jets offense has struggled. It's the first time in their last 15 drives that they started on their side of midfield. In their own territory, they've been able to score a touchdown. And they do it with Salas on the run. See Michael Vick, who was the starting quarterback for the last 3 games. As he and Marty Morningwig go over what the looks were and what worked on that drive. Nick Folk to kick it off. Jarvis Landry waiting deep, but it's taken by Damian Williams, who was up, and he gets hit as he crosses the 15 by Nick Ballore.
There's Marty Morningwig, and the Dolphins were concerned about all these personnel groupings. Here's their base formation, 2 backs and a tight end. They did that one time, and then you keep watching these Jets. They come out with a pistol formation with 3 tailbacks in the game together, 1 tight end and 1 receiver. And then they move Percy Harvin in there as a running back with a tight end and 3 receivers. They run 2 reverses, one of them to Greg Salas. And the Jets are on the board first. Good aggressive openers by Marty Morningwig and the Jets.
Miami working out of a touchdown deficit. Tannehill throws, and it's caught. Tight window. Brian Hartline able to grab it right around the first down mark in front of the rookie corner, Marcus Williams.
Oh, Hartline, he had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He's not seen the ball nearly as much this week. Good thing that ball was on time. Number 22, Marcus Williams. What a story he is. Undrafted free agent from nowhere. Has come in here and earned a starting right corner job at the Jets.
2 different faces on the field for the Jets here tonight. Tannehill, play action, look across the middle, and it's Wallace to midfield on the first down. Gain of about 23.
Boy, Mike, I thought Calvin Pace had a sack. You're going to see Deion Sims, number 80, come across the formation and save the day, and Ryan Tannehill throws another strike. Tannehill, almost 70% completions, but Deion Sims filling in for the injured Charles Clay comes across the formation with a big block.
And John, I saw at the top of that replay, Brian Hartline pulled up a bit lame, and the Dolphins receiver has limped over to the sideline. In Jets territory, the 48 is Lamar Miller with a strong run for 8 yards, but we have a penalty marker down, and it may have been a hold on Miami.
Holding. 67 offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Darren Collins got one of those good Jets up front. They are missing their best player. Muhammad Wilkerson is out tonight with a toe injury, so Quentin Coples goes from linebacker to defensive end, and Jason Babin takes Coples' linebacker's spot along with the regular starters. And in the secondary, it's that rookie Marcus Williams I talked about, and Calvin Pryor, the first-round pick, is starting tonight for DeJuan Landry. The Jets out of the playoffs. Rex Ryan getting to look at some of his younger players to see what their future is here. The hold made it 1st and 20. And it is Jarvis Landry. One rookie brought down by another. Landry tackled by the safety Calvin Pryor.
Landry leads the Dolphins in receiving. Uncommon for a rookie, but most of his patterns, Mike, are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. A lot of bubble screens, a lot of underneath quick passes in this Miami Dolphin offense. second down and long.
Second and 16. Tannehill empties the backfield and quickly gets it out again to Wallace. Back into Jets territory. John, I mentioned earlier that they are without Charles Clay, their tight end. And with Clay out of the lineup and Hartline getting hurt, and we'll watch if he comes back. It's interesting because watching the Denver game last week, they used a lot of 4 wide receiver sets when Clay was out of the lineup.
This is a spread system. They're going to have to lean on Rashard Matthews, Brandon Gibson, a couple veteran receivers to pick up the slack. This has been a Rex Ryan blitz down. Let's see if he brings it.
Third and 8, the Jets rush 4. Tannehill slant complete. The rookie Landry, first down.
That's impressive. Shotgun, quick pass, slant route. Jarvis Landry has no fear, none. Tannehill been very accurate the last 8 weeks in this Dolphin offense, and offensive coordinator Bill Lazor has cut defenses up with that signature slant pattern.
Hartline back in for Miami as Tannehill with that sharp start. Now he's going to keep it, Johnny, as this is part of his repertoire and slides right at the first down line.
He's got so many options at his discretion. He can throw the built-in quick screen. He can hand it or keep it, and he's going to read Jason Babin at defensive end. And if he crashes, number 52, David Harris, has to make that tackle. But you see Jawan James, the rookie left tackle, getting it done.
That is what you talked about in the pregame setup here. Tannehill, you can blend a little bit of that read option offense with a bigger quarterback running it, as well as the West Coast principles of good sharp throwing. In trouble here, and he's brought down. Henrik Ellis, the fourth-year man out of Hampton, gets the sack for the Jets.
My biggest concern with the Dolphins, can this offensive line hold up? Samson Satelli, veteran center, has struggled with size and one-on-one pass protection. Here you see Henrik Ellis on a simple bull rush, dominating. The Jets are massive up front on defense. The Miami offensive line is not.
First career sack. Ellis playing his 41st NFL game. Second and long. Tannehill pitched and through, and then Babin makes the contact as Landry catches another one on this drive.
It's Jarvis Landry. He knows he's not at LSU anymore. He was an outside gifted receiver. Now he's working in the land of giants. And that time, Jason Babin just welcomed him to New Jersey. Little shallow cross, and Babin saw it the whole way. I like this Landry. He is one tough LSU Tiger.
Need to get to the 12 for the first down. Pressure picked up for the moment. And Tannehill's throw is incomplete, trying to get it to Landry. And finally, at the end, the Jets were able to knock down Tannehill with the combination of Richardson and Copeland.
They're hammering Tannehill. Pressure's coming from Sheldon Richardson on a stunt. Miami never saw it. Not good enough by this Dolphin offensive line. Rex Ryan hasn't done a lot of blitzing, but he has relied on one-on-one pass rushers and some stunts.
Former Gator Caleb Sturgis on to attempt a 43-yard field goal. Out of the hole, the Fields leaking left. No good. Miami moved down the field 57 yards. Took them 6 minutes. For the 5th time this year, Sturgis missed a field goal. Stays 7-0 Jets. Second drive, the Jets put together an 85-yard drive. Good running of the football, capped off by a Greg Salas rushing touchdown. Now they take over at their own 34, and Chris Ivory runs to the left and gains 2 yards. Frank Grimes takes him out of bounds. Well, the last start for Geno Smith was here, and it was awful. in 6 passes in 4 minutes. He threw 3 interceptions and was pulled. And Michael Vick took over, finished that game, and then started the next 3 until Vick struggled in the game played in Detroit against Buffalo last week, and the organization deciding to go back to Geno Smith, the second-year man. Chris Johnson to midfield, big run for about 14 yards and a first down. And John, the running game is going to help Geno Smith as he tries to get something back at the end of his second year.
It's been tough on Geno. He sat down for 3 weeks. He learned a lot about resiliency. He knows this is a 5-week audition. He's got to lead the New York Jets through some adversity. He's got to rely on his teammates. They have some really good supporting players here, but he has got to be mentally tough, take care of the football, and be a leader.
Hands it to Percy Harvin for a good run there for 8 yards to the 42-yard line. And that's the point, John. He said he knows this time around I've got to take better care of the football. There was some thought that Rex Ryan and some in the locker room wanted to stay with Michael Vick as the quarterback, albeit the bad performance last week. The Jets went to great pains to say that their feeling was it was everyone on board with the decision to go back to Geno. No matter how it came about, it's his opportunity to prove he can be the guy or he's not part of the equation next year. Second and 2, and Johnson stopped in the backfield. Koamisi coming through for a loss. That'll set up third down, and it'll set up the second quarter. Jets with the only score, up 7-0 after 1 on Monday Night Football.
ESPN celebrating 45 years of Monday Night Football.
Look at the stats after 1 quarter, and the big number is the Jets' rushing yard total, 131. That's the most by any team in the league in a first quarter in 3 years. You surprised, John, the Jets are running so effectively early?
Yes, I am surprised. It's good to see Olivier Vernon back at right defensive end because they have been running right at Deion Jordan.
Vernon is number 50 for Miami. Bilal Powell on this third down carry will keep the drive alive with a first down to the Miami 38. It was a Chris Johnson run of 47 yards, but the other runs are averaging quite well as well.
A lot of deception. They've run the 2 reverses. They faked the reverse. And let's be honest, they have some very good backs here. Chris Ivory can slam it inside, and Chris Johnson is showing you he can still get it done. Look at this.
And it's Johnson, but as you said, these big gaping holes to run through, and it's a gain of almost 10 yards. And another first down.
Well, they're running the same play behind Willie Colon at right tackle. It's a double team. They pull the left guard, and they slam Chris Johnson off tackle. And if it's not for Rashad Jones, that walks again. Excellent point of attack blocking. And Geno Smith enjoys playing quarterback with this running game.
He's only thrown it 4 times in the Jets' first 19 plays. Keep handing it. Johnson to the 24-yard line.
See, defensive coordinator Kevin Coyle, he can't get to any of his third down blitzes if they can't stop the run. They gave up over 200 yards to C.J. Anderson of the Denver Broncos last week. They're getting gashed with basic downhill runs. Cameron Wake and this Dolphin front seven's got to pick it up.
That was the eye-opener last week against Denver. First time Miami defensively gave up over 400 yards as Johnson turns and gets a couple of yards.
So far, so good for Chris Johnson. Finally getting a big part of this action. Off-tackle power play. How about this open field run? He makes 2 Dolphins miss, and he accelerates. And it's a straight lead block behind fullback John Connor. Another big explosive run. Then it's the same power play off the right side. Good stuff by Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson's season high, 69 against Kansas City. 10 better than that in this first half. It's Bilal Powell out of the gun, and that time Miami able to get the good penetration on third down, and Jelani Jenkins will force a Jets field goal attempt.
Well, they're running the ball on third down and medium. And the Dolphins have heard our critique up here loud and clear. There's nothing there. Here's Nick Folk. But the Jets just haven't thrown the ball very well, Mike, over the last few years. And on a 3rd down and 3 in that field position, you'd like to see the young quarterback have a shot at letting it rip.
One of the Jets' bright spots this year, Folk from 40, able to knock it through. And the Jets have scored the first 10 on this one. Folk 19 of 21 this year. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Bank of America. Spread the word. It's World AIDS Day. Hashtag one step for red. IBM, today there's a new way to work, and it's made with IBM. And Autotrader.com, land a great deal on your perfect car at Autotrader.com. The holiday decorations out in New York. Rockettes show underway at Radio City Music Hall, and Wednesday the famed tree will be lit. Signify the holiday season. Millions from this area and visitors to New York will come window shop and take in some of the sights. If this would have been the other way, John, Miami getting up 10 early on the Jets, it may have been tough. A 2-9 team might check out a bit earlier, but the early start by the underdog, and you mentioned the rivalry factor here, going to keep the Jets around for a while.
Hasn't been real complicated. 12 straight runs by the Jets.
Folk with the kick. Landry gets a running start from the 2. Trying to get to the edge, and the Jets backup tight end Zach Sudfeld was there, kept his lane, and took the return man out of bounds. Ryan Tannehill, is he the best Dolphin quarterback since Marino? Trying to put up Marino-like numbers. Hudson River this week, Green Bay next week. The Packers, the Falcons, 2 division leaders, albeit Atlanta at 5-7. Packers off that great effort against New England yesterday. We will see you from Lambeau 1 week from tonight on Monday Night Football. Dolphins taking over 3rd drive, their own 23. Tannehill's pass is nearly intercepted. Darren Walls closed in fast.
Darren Walls playing left corner, read it the whole way. Transition, you got to get out of your pedal and drive on the football. Ooh, Walls should intercept that ball. These Jets have dropped more interceptions than any team I've ever seen.
Good snap to the run with Daniel Thomas. Will take it to the 27-yard line. Tannehill in a game the Dolphins needed in Week 17 to keep their playoff hopes alive. Completed half his passes, was intercepted 3 times.
And not off to a great start tonight when you see Darren Walls put 2 hands on the football. Sometimes you have a hard time shaking off the ghosts of a Rex Ryan beatdown.
Yeah, his 3rd down pass. Daniel Thomas has it, John, but he's going to be shy of the 1st down. And Miami's going to go 3 and out for the 2nd time here tonight.
Well, Miami knows they're going to struggle running the football against these massive New York Jet defensive linemen. And so far, every completion has been within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and you have to credit the Jets for tackling.
Good one from Fields last time. Line drive, 58 yards on this one. It sent Curley back to the 11. Block in the back. We'll bring it back. As Curley's pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line, the Jets are going to have over 90 yards to go on this drive.
Like a pretty obvious call against the Jets here, Mike.
Why? Because I saw it right away?
Yes.
Happy holidays to you as well. You know, Rex Ryan did say, John, you know, we're all plugged in here. It was really hard coming back from Detroit after the loss to Buffalo, but you see it early.
Illegal block in the back by the return team, number 15. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. New York's ball, 1st down. Timeout.
10.5 left in the half. 10-0 Jets.
But I believe this is the year that we're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not here to kiss the ring.
You take a swipe at one of ours, we'll take a swipe at two of yours.
Whatever you guys do, just don't panic.
Hey, Rob, what do you think of your brother Rex?
He's very handsome. It says here that New England's pretty good. Any questions?
I'm the coach here for the next 5 weeks, and my team's going to get everything I got.
Been a success early on, entertaining quotes, great back and forth with the media. He's quick-minded, sharp, very, very good defensive coach. His offenses have struggled over the last few years, but Rex Ryan brought that energy at their practice. You wouldn't know that they were a 2-9 team, and they've responded with that kind of effort here early on, especially in the run game. But now Geno Smith backed up at his own 6-yard line. Chris Ivory is the running back, and he'll gain a solid 8 yards running it back up, John.
I am shocked. Miami's in a loaded front to stop the run, and the Jets are pounding them with an array of different runs. You're going to see Ivory come across the formation right behind Willie Colon again on a trap block. And it's an 8-yard gain.
14 straight runs. This time Ivory stopped short of the line of scrimmage, and Philip Wheeler and Jelani Jenkins are there.
Mike, when you can run the ball like this and you involve multiple Dolphins to stop the run, it's a matter of time before they test R.J. Stanford, who just got here to play right corner for the Dolphins. I mean, Eric Decker is out there in one-on-one coverage. Sooner or later, they have to find out if Geno can throw the ball to Decker against a corner that just got here.
3rd and 2, pressure up the middle. Smith has time, and it's complete for the first down to Percy Harvin. Brent Grimes firing through, almost got there, but the Jets moved the chains.
That was tight, and Grimes saw that the whole way, and that ball was stuck in a very tight window. Right side of your screen, you're going to see Brent Grimes, the left corner of the Dolphins, almost bat that ball down. First down, Jets.
Well, let's credit Chris Ivory, who had a bad blitz pickup in the first drive, had a great one there. And now he's got the carry to the left for a couple of yards. So, John, let me ask you about the Dolphins' defense here for a second, because we saw the Denver game, and Peyton Manning used the Dolphins' aggressiveness against them. He ran the ball and ran it effectively. Is there a little bit of a template? Maybe you can run on this defense now.
Well, when you get gashed for 200 yards, you know what you're going to see the following week, especially when you start watching these New York Jets. That's what they do best, and they have some backs that can really hurt you, and right now they're taking it to Miami with great success.
2nd and 7. Smith adjusted this play. It's a beautiful move by Ivory. Can he get the first down? A yard shy as Percy Harvin was over there trying to block on the edge.
Nice run by Ivory. He makes Derek Shelby miss in the open field, but Ivory almost 5 yards a carry, Mike, and he averages at least 2 yards after contact on every run. And you are seeing a lot of different schemes. I've seen power schemes, toss plays, reverses, traps. I don't know how many running plays are in this Jet attack tonight, but I've seen a lot.
Well, they've run it 22 times, thrown it 5. It's a little option pitch. Harvin on the edge, got the first down to the 32-yard line.
Are you believing that on 3rd and 1? I mean, they are running plays that I guarantee you Miami has not seen ever. It's hard to prepare for Morningwig. He has a lot of personnel groupings at his disposal, and this is the first time I've seen the Jets in a long time rely on the running game, which Rex Ryan was known for early in his career as the coach of the Jets.
Chris Johnson, fullback Connor blocked for him, but Philip Wheeler as the linebackers roll up the tackles here for Miami in this first half. You said it, John. I was thinking the same thing. When was Rex good? When was this Jets team good? His first 2 years. Mark Sanchez was the quarterback. the phrase ground and pound got beat into the ground. It got worn out. That was the Jets' style of offense, and that's what they're giving Joe Philbin's team here tonight.
You see Cameron Wake just check back into the game. This is not a lot of fun for a defensive end to see this many runs.
A throw down, 2nd and 9, and they'll hand it again to Curley, coming around, picking up the blocks and getting into Dolphin territory with a first down. They're involving everybody in this game plan here tonight.
And Cumberland just laid a beautiful block on Cameron Wake. Miami Dolphins are on their heels. The New York Jets look fresh. Giacomini and Colon at right guard and right tackle have come off the ball like a thundering herd here in the first half for the Jets. I love it.
Harvin's run it 3 times. Salas once for a touchdown. That was Curley's 2nd. Ivory to the left. That time Louis Delmas comes to make the stop. We're talking about those ground and pound, John. Those days, look at the running total the Jets had. They ran it for 160 yards a game, kept it away from the other team. That has changed a lot in these last 4 years since the Jets have not been as good. And the turnover differential, they turn it over too much and they get no turnovers at all. They've been the worst in the league in that key step.
That's a hard one to look at. Minus 43. Not good.
Ivory, again, a good block, again, a first down. And that time, Curley downfield was part of the blocking story. And the Dolphin may be shaken up. Jelani Jenkins, who's had a huge first half in terms of tackles. The linebacker is shaken up for the Dolphins. 4:46 to go, first half. The injured player, Jelani Jenkins, helped off with the assistance of the athletic training staff. He has 12 tackles. John, they're running the ball on him.
I've seen Statue of Liberty plays to Jeremy Curley. I've seen 6 different Jets carry the ball. Chris Johnson on back-to-back power plays. They've all worked. Here's Greg Salas on another reverse. He's untouched. He scores. Out of misdirection.
1st and 10 for the Jets, and Koamisi comes in to tackle Chris Johnson after a gain of 2. All that rushing that you showed, John, has added up for the Jets. Already over 200 rushing yards in the first half. First time they've done that in 5 years. Did it to the Bills in 2009.
And I got Randy Starks out there and Earl Mitchell, my 2 run-stuffing defensive tackles. I'm not taking them off the field if I'm Kevin Coyle of the Dolphins.
Very fast-moving half as the Jets have run now 23 of the last 24 snaps. And Johnson brings it to the 30-yard line.
About time of possession. I mean, it's all Jets. Ryan Tannehill and offensive coordinator Bill Lazor have had plenty of time to make adjustments. Over 17 minutes of clock time for the Jets, and on 3rd down and 4, they ran the ball the last time down here. Let's see if they give Geno Smith a chance to throw one.
John mentioned the top of the screen. Eric Decker working on R.J. Stanford. Just signed this week. Smith looking that way. He'll throw to Harvin. Overthrows him. He had a step on Brent Grimes as Decker and Harvin cross paths.
Those are the throws you want to see Geno Smith make. The Jets just have not thrown the ball well enough for the last 4 or 5 years, at least since Rex Ryan has been here. And with that being said, they can't score enough points. They haven't taken very good care of the ball and haven't won enough games. When you get them open in this league, you've got to hit them. That time Harvin had a chance to put the Jets up 3 scores.
Nick Folk from 48. Tanner Purdom snapped it. Ryan Quigley put it down. Folk missed it left. And for all the Jets' running success and their dominance in the line of scrimmage, Miami's still within 10. .29 runs for the Jets. Look at the middle column, the yards gained by the half-dozen players who have touched it. But that drive, John, 64 yards, most of it on the ground. No points to show for a 7-minute possession.
That's all that matters.
Now Miami, having run only 15 plays this half, back to work with Tannehill, who completes it to Brandon Gibson. On the sideline, Gibson a flag down as he gains 7, pending the penalty.
A number of flags.
Potentially the formation here.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Wow. John, that's what you talk about all the time. That play not being called downfield.
I'm thankful it's called. Drives me crazy. These teams are running these running plays, and they tell the receiver to go run a 5-yard hitch route. And if we don't like the run, the quarterback can throw the pass. But linemen are downfield blocking the running play. It drives me crazy. I love that call by the officials.
Save that moment of tape. Thrilled by a penalty flag. So 1st and 15 for Tannehill and the Dolphins. 3-man rush getting to Tannehill, and he gets it to his tight end, Deion Sims. He's upended by DeJuan Landry, who did not start for the Jets here tonight.
And Quentin Coples hits Tannehill again. They have had no pass protection to push the ball down the field. He's been sacked. He's been knocked down twice now. And there's Landry making a beautiful open field tackle. 2nd and 12.
They don't throw it downfield very often, do they?
No, they do not. You got to watch a lot of Dolphin film to find a vertical pass, that's for sure.
And this play stopped for a moment. They moved the ball to the right hash. He was in the middle of the field.
So, you got a young corner down here, Marcus Williams, at the bottom of the screen against Mike Wallace. Jet fans are dying to see something happen with Mike Wallace down the field.
Tannehill complete a sandwich of the receiver Miller as he got popped by the combination of Demario Davis and Jason Babbitt.
Well, here's the 3rd downs for Miami. You see the blitz coming off the right side of the screen. Nowhere for Tannehill to go. Coverage holds up down the field. And then a stunt gets to Tannehill. He's got no time to see anything. And it's just good coverage down the field. They've done an excellent job of containing Tannehill. He hasn't been able to scramble, and the Jets have looked good.
2-minute warning. Toyota halftime is coming up. We'll check in with Chris Berman of in Connecticut. Morton Adam will have the news around the National Football League. What's the next move for the Browns? Mike Pettin, their quarterback issue, and we'll visit with Kirk Herbstreit. Talk about the college football playoff. You will hear the announcement of the 4 teams on Sunday, 12:45 Eastern Time here on ESPN. 3rd and 6. Jets show pressure, but only rush 4, and that pass is caught. That's a very good catch by the rookie Landry. It was low, but he scooped it up for the 1st down.
It's that slant route, that signature slant route from the slot. And Jarvis Landry, no fear inside. Here comes Miami.
Full complement of timeouts, trying to get some tempo, get something going. And Tannehill throws to Landry again. It'll be a gain of 4. Aaron Walls to stop.
And the Jets have played more zone tonight than we've seen Rex Ryan play ever. He does not blitz and expose these corners in one-on-one coverage like he has in years past, but it's a matter of time before he heats them up.
Daniel Thomason is the back. Tannehill fires left. It should have been intercepted. Calvin Pace had it, hit him in the hand.
The Jets have only 3 interceptions all year, and you can see why. Darren Walls dropped one earlier. You could not throw the ball to Calvin Pace any better. He's going to come from underneath his linebacker position. You have to make these plays. And the Jets just cannot find a way to get an interception if they handed it to him.
Calvin Pace has a couple of picks as a Jet, 3 in his career. Seems the team has all year. 3rd and 4 again. They rush 3, and Tannehill in the middle, held on to by the tight end Deion Sims, and a 1st down at the Jets 25.
3-man rush gives Tannehill the time to survey down the field. Jets got to get back to that 4-man rush. that was effective earlier.
Timeout Miami. Minute left in the half. Ryan Tannehill lucky not to be intercepted on this drive. Hit a big first down there.
Well, all goes special. There's your primary read, and they hit that throw. But look at Jarvis Landry down the seam. That's where you hear some receiver coaches are yelling at the quarterback, oh, you missed the seam. You missed Landry. But you have to go through your progression, and if the primary receiver's open, that's where your eye control is. But I'm sure they're coming back to that play, and they'll tell Tannehill, don't forget the seam.
So the next day when you watch it, you don't get on him for missing that?
He went through his progression the right way. Can't see everything.
First down Miami at the 25. Here comes pressure up the middle, straight through David Harris with a sack and a big loss.
Rex Ryan still has bullets in his holster, and that means blitzes. Cross dog blitz. You'll see Harris and Demario Davis and Daniel Thomas. And Shelley Smith at left guard failed miserably.
Miami's taking the timeout. They have one remaining, 55 seconds left.
When you have a timeout, a clock stoppage, you have to assume that Rex Ryan has time to organize his troops and call a blitz. At a clock stoppage, you must expect blitz from Rex Ryan, especially at the end of the half. He's notorious for pressure at a clock stoppage, particularly at the end of the half or the end of the game. They have to expect another one. They want to knock Miami out of field goal position.
I'm not making excuses for Rex or the Jets. It's been like a dealer with 2/3 of a deck. No corners, so he hasn't been able to do what he's done over the years very well. Blitz. 2nd and 20. Tannehill fires to the sideline. Wallace brought it in. They say the feet down to the 28. Got 7 back after that 10-yard loss on the sack.
It's a nice job walking the chalk. You practice this on the practice field every day. Bang, bang play. The officials all over it. Let's take a look at the slow-mo.
Catch. 1 down. 2nd one down.
Previous play will go under further review.
And the booth upstairs buzzes down to provide us with John's favorite portion of the game. You watch. When does he have firm grip and control of the ball? Then do the 2 feet come down? You go to the catch and the firm grip to control the ball first, and then look for the feet. And that's what Ron Torbert will be doing in consultation with Dean Blandino, the NFL Vice President of Officiating, who's across the river at the league, Art McNally Game Day Central in New York.
You make a great point about these Jet corners. They had 2 of the best corners in the world here. Darrelle Revis and Antonio Cromartie. They had a chance to get them both re-signed, but they didn't get it done, and now Revis is getting it done for Bill Belichick. I mean, Revis can almost run the route for the wide receiver. I don't know how you don't bring Revis back here. And then Antonio Cromartie, pick up an Arizona Cardinal film. He's still a dominant corner with great ball skills. And in this Rex Ryan defense, I don't know how you don't address that position. No disrespect to Darren Walls or Marcus Williams, but these are undrafted football players. Cromartie and Revis were dominant first-round players. And if you're going to hire Rex Ryan, you know what you're getting. You're getting a pressure coach that loves to play blitz coverage, and you need corners that can cover.
Ruling on the field is confirmed. It was a catch. It's 3rd down.
So the pickup of 8 is there. They drafted Dexter McDougal in the 3rd round. He tore his ACL. Dean Milner was here to be a starter. The Achilles injury. Dimitri Patterson showed up. He was AWOL. Kyle Wilson drafted in the 1st round. He's been a nickel guy. I mentioned the Milner injury. Now Pryor, the safety, is getting a start here tonight. Trying to figure it out in the secondary. 3rd and 13. Time for Tannehill. Underneath, going to have to make it happen after the catch. And Landry nowhere to go. It'll be a 42-yard field goal attempt coming up.
And you see how conservative the Jets played in that situation. They played very soft. They forced Tannehill to check the ball underneath, and they rally and make the tackle. Zone coverage. Big part of the Jets defense, given their situation in the secondary. And let's see Sturgis, who missed earlier.
Rex Ryan choosing to keep all of his timeouts, not get the ball back with a half minute and try to make something happen. And you saw Joe Philbin, the Dolphins head coach, talking to the official right by him. Wants to run that play clock down, drain the clock, and take a timeout with 4 seconds left. And this field goal will likely be the final play of the half. Interesting year for Joe Philbin last year. Of course, we had that bullying scandal involving Richie Incognito, Jonathan Martin. The whole offensive line was changed. Philbin has tried to change the culture of the locker room and the Miami team. And you talk to the Dolphin players, and they say, our coach is doing bed check. Did it in training camp, still does it now. But he's interacting with the players. He's a presence in the locker room. He's used the crisis to help reinvent himself, and it's really made a positive connection with this team this year.
He's a good coach, and he's a great person. And I know last year, and that scandal thing that came up was well documented. But if you don't like Joe Philbin, you just don't like people. He's an outstanding person, a great teacher, and he's assembled an excellent staff. Let's see if they can get back in this game.
Well, Rex is going to call one of his timeouts here to make Sturgis think about a 43-yarder. He missed a 43-yarder earlier on. Jets trying to pitch the first half shutout. Haven't done that in 3 years and a month.
I saw this Sturgis kick a onside kick last week behind the back. Mike, did you see that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did, John. You enjoyed that. That was a Rabona-type soccer kick.
I knew you'd tell me because you did the World Cup over there. I've never seen that kind of an onside kick.
You plant your left leg, you wrap your right foot around your left calf, try to kick it, and trying to find a way to surprise the Broncos last week. He didn't hit it cleanly, as cleanly as a good striker might. From 43 to get the Dolphins on the board.
Money.
So Miami scores at the end of the half and will get the ball to start the third quarter. Jets 10, Dolphins 3. Chris Berman standing by now with the Toyota halftime. Chris. Geno 2.0, his second opportunity as the Jets starter. Geno Smith leading the team, a run-based first half, but they're up 10-3 as Rex Ryan and the Jets, many folks say he's done as the Jets coach. Still 5 games to play, and for Miami, dreams to perhaps ruin with the Jets rival. We'll see what happens here in the second half. Dolphins get the ball first, and John Arzale's extraordinary moments go back to the moments when the Jets dominated running the ball in the first 30 minutes.
They ran the ball well, and they ran it a lot of different ways, Mike. How about some of these runs? There's an old-fashioned one-back power play off the right side. Look at the point of attack block, and you see the left guard pull, and Chris Johnson gashes Miami. Then they fake the ball to Bilal Powell. They run a read option with Percy Harvin in pitch face. You don't see this often in pro football, and they get another big first down. Then they fake a bubble screen to Harvin. They run a Statue of Liberty to Jeremy Curley the other way. They catch the Dolphins off balance. Great block by Cumberland. A lot of different runs, Mike. Here's a trap play. Watch the left guard, 75. Bang! I've seen a lot of different runs, different runners. I love them, what the Jets are doing, but they have to put the ball in the end zone to win this football game.
You wonder if there's a template set by Miami's defense, for Miami's defense, by Denver last week. Maybe they're too small up front and you can run on them, and the Jets are taking advantage of that now from the Miami side in the second half. Where do you find offensive answers to take advantage of the Jets' weaknesses?
Well, the Jets' weaknesses are in the secondary, but clearly they're not exposing these corners with the Rex Ryan blitzes that we've seen for years. They're playing a lot of zone. It's important somehow, some way that Miami runs the ball a little bit to keep the Jets off balance. So far, they've been one-dimensional, a bunch of short passes. I expect to see Miami try to mix it up a little bit, or they could be in trouble.
Nick Folk, a little pop-up kick, trying to catch the Dolphins napping, but nothing doing there, as it is fair caught at the 24-yard line by Jason Trusnick. Good special teamer here for the Dolphins. There's that 210 rushing yard first half for New York that jumps out. Of note on the passing with the 21 pass plays for Miami, 110 yards. John, only 3 passes or more than 9 yards. To your point of not stretching the field.
Not at all, but this is their quarter, Mike. The Dolphins do most of their damage in the third quarter. They have outscored the entire NFL.
Tannehill from the 35, on the move, to the back. Lamar Miller shy of the first down. Here's Lisa Salters.
Hey, Mike, well, I asked Joe Philbin what was giving them so much trouble against the run, and he told me, hey, they hit a couple of reverses. We didn't tackle very well. They did a good job blocking us. As far as adjustments, he said, we just got to settle down, do the fundamentals, get off blocks and play sounder defense. I asked Rex Ryan if we can expect to see more of the same in the second half, and he said, hey, we've shown a little ground and pound, and it's working. We've done a good job establishing it, so I took that as a yes, Mike.
It would make sense after the first half success. We had movement up front. It'll push them back for 5 yards.
Young players.
Ball start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
And John, remember we showed you in the first half, Brian Hartline came off the field with a knee injury. He has now been ruled out for the rest of the game. So Brian Hartline, one of the Dolphins receivers, is out. When we flip it to the other side for the Jets, the man who scored the game's only touchdown, Greg Salas, the receiver, he injured his hamstring on that play, and he's out. So 2 receivers, 1 each way, out for the game. Miller. As he crossed the 40, that's a good run for Miami, trying to establish some balance.
That's what they need to do. They must get the running game going. You can release the tight end and read the backside in and hand the ball to Lamar Miller, or you can block the defensive end and hand the ball to Lamar Miller. Bottom line is get the ball to Lamar Miller. He has almost 700 yards rushing. He was invisible in the first half. You have to like his production on these first 2 runs to start the third quarter.
College ball in Miami, playing for the Dolphins now, closing in on best rushing total he's had in his 3 years in the NFL. Play action, Tannehill, his tight end is covered. Downfield, it's open. And Brandon Gibson takes it out of bounds for the first down. Way away from the play, 20 yards farther back from the play, pushing and shoving with a couple of players from each team. They're separated.
Brandon Gibson's a good receiver. He was beaten out in the slot by Jarvis Landry, and with the injury to Hartline, the veteran is back in action at the outside receiver spot. That time he ran a beautiful double move against Darren Walls, and Miami's on the move.
Saw that number, how dominant, as John was mentioning, they've been in this third quarter. Miller left, chased down by Calvin Pace. It'll be a loss of a few yards.
This Miami offensive line was the #1 priority of Joe Philbin and the Dolphins in the offseason. They signed Brandon Albert, big free agent contract to play left tackle. He got hurt. They drafted Jawan James with the 19th overall pick to be the right tackle. But now the former Volunteers at left tackle, and doing a very good job doing multiple things in his first year as a Dolphin.
Albert, who they signed from Kansas City, tore his ACL a few weeks ago against Detroit. This is 2nd and 13. It's time for Tannehill. And to the middle, Wallace wants the flag. He looked like he was contacted, and now the flag comes in extraordinarily late, but it might be the right call.
Tannehill's late with the football. I have no idea how he got back here to Mike Wallace, but Wallace got there early.
Wallace spun back to the official on that side. It was the official clear across the field who had a clear look and made the correct call.
Interference. Defense. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
Third quarter, Mike. I want to reiterate that point. Somehow, some way, Joe Philbin goes into the locker room at halftime and delivers an incredible speech. They have scored over 120 points, I think, in the third quarter. And they're on the move for more.
Saw the number a moment ago. If they can maintain it, be the rare team in the history of the league. Go back to the terrific Rams of 1950 to average that much in the third quarter. A little smoke screen, the football folks call it. Just throw it out to Mike Wallace, and it gains only 2 yards.
A lot of that in pro football nowadays. It's a running play.
You love it, don't you?
I do not. I do not like it, but The statistical world of football loves it. Completion percentages are soaring, and I'm sure Dan Marino is sitting in the press box wondering how many yards he could have thrown for in this modern day of pro football.
And Dan did not throw many of those.
No, he did not.
In his time. Yeah. This is not a vertical passing attack. The Dolphins of 2014. Here comes left, Demario Davis, like that third-year linebacker out of Arkansas State who made the tackle. To that point, John, of all the quarterbacks who qualify in the league, when you consider a deep ball thrown 21 yards downfield, 20 or more yards, Tannehill is the 4th worst completion percentage in the league coming into this week. The 2 worst are the Jets. So this is not a night to see the deep ball.
Probably not.
No. If you dig the long ball, not here, not now. 3rd and 6. Pressure coming. Tannehill fires and dropped. Mike Wallace just a half step away from getting there with Jaquan Jarrett, the safety, in coverage.
Well, Rex Ryan brought the house, and he plays one-on-one coverage with no help. Watch Jarrett, number 37, a safety, one-on-one with Mike Wallace to the corner. I'd like to see Wallace catch that football. Somehow, some way, I'd like to see the former Steeler go get it.
Where's Odell Beckham Jr. when you need him? A make from 43, a miss from 43. Sturgis from 44. And the Jets lead is 4. Miami back-to-back possessions surrounding the half. 2 field goals, almost the touchdown there. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by LiftMaster. No other garage door opener opens your world like LiftMaster. ESPNFanshop.com, powered by Dick's Sporting Goods. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes on Blu-ray and digital HD tomorrow. And Navy Federal serving the armed forces and their families. The most famous of all Jets, Joe Namath, and the others welcoming Wayne Corbett and posthumously former owner Leon Hess into the Jets Ring of Honor. Undrafted from Hofstra on Long Island, Wayne Corbett, 2nd in Jets history, 580 receptions. He and Mr. Hess now make it 15 inducted into the Jets Ring of Honor, and you saw some of them, Maynard, Curtis Martin on the field for the ceremony here tonight. Squib kick goes out of bounds, and the Jets will get the ball at the 40. Mistake by Sturgis.
A lot of respect for Percy Harvin. You do not want to kick the ball deep.
Kickoff out of bounds by the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. 1st down. Timeout.
So good field position for the Jets, who had a good rushing game, including Chris Johnson having his best night in his first year in New York. Michael Vick was the starter the last 3 games. Geno Smith gets the starting job back. He's only thrown 6 first-half passes. It has been run-dominated and successful for the Jets. But a pre-snap flag here.
Ball start. Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty. It's still 1st down.
Jets have had plenty of opportunities tonight. They haven't cashed in on them. Darren Walls drops an interception, hits him right in the chest. And then Geno, I thought he had Percy Harvin to make this a 17-0 score. They got nothing out of this drive, and then Tannehill throws a pick right to Calvin Pace. You have to make these plays when opportunity knocks. So far, the Jets have failed to do it.
That Pace drop kept him alive for a field goal. Harvin slips, falls, was untouched. So we got back up to run it for about 4 yards at the 39-yard line.
That's the college jet sweep that you see every Saturday. At some point, Geno Smith is going to have to prove to this organization that he can throw the football to win and be the future quarterback of the Jets. R.J. Stanford, a player who just got here, hasn't even had pads on for 3 months, is up here covering Eric Decker.
Ivory bouncing it to the outside, hurdling the would-be tackle by Brent Grimes, and getting within 5 of the 1st down.
It's an impressive run. He has elusiveness, he has power, and if you're a cornerback like Brent Grimes, you don't want to see this train coming down your neighborhood. He can run over you. He can jump over you. He can do it all. Stanford at the top of the screen. I'm waiting.
Jets do a lot of this, flipping and changing formation. Get the defense running around. Smith back to pass on 3rd and 5. And wide open is the tight end, Zach Sudfeld. First down and more. Sudfeld to the 35-yard line. 20 yards on the game.
Chaotic, crazy shift forced the Dolphins to adjust their front, and it neutralizes the pass rush. Watch Miami try to reset their pass rushers. They can't do it. They have a 3-man rush. They make a mistake, and nobody covers. Number 44, Zach Sudfeld, getting some action tonight with Jay Samaro out with a concussion.
It's the 2nd-round pick for the Jets. Is the top rookie tight end pass catcher. A read option for Ivory running to the left. And the pile's pushed forward, so it turns into a gain of 7 for Ivory.
That's what Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator of the Dolphins, told us last night. His biggest concern was Chris Ivory and a steady diet of Ivory. He is a physical downhill load, and you have to commit people to stopping him. And you got to get excited about playing run defense against Chris Ivory.
He does so much work after he gets hit. That time after he got hit, stumbled forward close to the first down. Looks to be a yard shy. 3rd and 1. This is not going a long way in the Jets' long-term planning, trying to figure out what do we have in Geno Smith. Let's get him back as a passer. But it is so effective right now off the last week against Denver. The Jets have run it 32 times for 228 yards here tonight.
Win is the #1 criteria you're looking for. They're going to run this to the right side, Mike.
Third and 1. Switch to the left to Ivory. Should have listened to you. Loss of the yard. It'll be 4th down. Let's see what Rex does. Dolphins come out of the pile with the ball, and they continue to run, and now a whistle is blown. Rashad Jones, the safety, came out of it. Had the ball. Didn't hear a whistle. He did the right thing. Kept going.
They ran right into the overload. I'm surprised he ran left. They don't have Rashad Jones accounted for, Mike. Surprised that they would run the ball into an unblocked safety. Let's see if that ball looks like it's loose and it's out.
Moving for sure there on the side, and then Jones emerged from the pile with it. See if Miami's going to challenge. They want to challenge, and they do. The Dolphins get word from up top after seeing that replay that it's worth using the timeout to take a peek. A real close inspection of that replay. Ron Torbert comes over to Joe Philbin.
Well, they had a lot of success running right tonight. They ran left in a short yardage situation right into the overload of the Dolphin defense. And I like this decision by Joe Philbin to throw the flag.
Miami is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down by contact. We'll review the play. Timeout.
So on 3rd and short, Ivory ran it. Jones pulled it out of there. We'll take a long, close inspection at this. Fumble or no? Ruling on the field, which is the important thing to remember, down by contact. What they need to see is clear evidence that the call on the field was wrong to overturn it. I don't know if it's there. I don't know if you clearly see the ball out. Here's Ron Torbert.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It's 4th down.
That's one place where replay has gone, where here's the call on the field. You've got to show me something that 100 people sitting around a TV say, no, that call is wrong. It was such a pile of bodies and legs and all the other stuff that you couldn't clearly see it. Thus, it stands not confirmed. And Torbert giving that explanation here to Joe Philbin.
I agree with Joe Philbin. That ball was loose. I thought it was out, but as you say, you got to convince 100 people. And here's Folk.
John, that's one of the reasons that the challenge percentage this year, the overturns have gone from like around 52% or so down to under 40, because it really has to be concrete evidence to make a flip of what was called on the field. That's the centralization factor, having New York look in on it. Nick Folk from 45. Made from 40, missed from 48. Off the crossbar and good. Woo!
Folk didn't get all of that one, but just enough.
A little bit of a breeze, cool night. Ball doesn't travel as far. This one travels just far enough. Oh. Nick Folk just barely making that. The rush was on, and John, this should have been a running into, not roughing, but running into the kicker penalty.
No question. I think that gives the Jets an automatic first down. I don't know for the life of me how that isn't running into the kicker when Grimes runs into the kicker.
It is certainly amplified by Folk on the pirouette there, but if you do run into that leg when the guy's out there and has kicked the ball, that's why there's the difference of 5 and 15 running into and roughing. And it was 4th and 2 on the play. That plant leg is usually what you look at for running into for the 15-yarder. But the kicking leg out there could have got him 5, and perhaps Miami caught a bit of a break. But Folk just had enough to make it, and the Jets lead 7 halfway through the third. Here's an on-the-run Jarvis Landry return. Just out to the 22-yard line. Well, Miami's close. Can they close the close ones? Aaron Rodgers gave a fake spike for the game-winning touchdown. Week 10, Stafford, Theo Riddick, Lions win. Last week's double-digit lead against Denver. Peyton leads it to 2 scores. Tannehill throws an interception. Broncos close it out. Hang on to win by 3. Last 3 losses by a total of 10. Joe Philbin told us he went home Thanksgiving after practice. He was mad. He said, you know what, we are so close to being 8-0 in this last 8-game run. Catch by Tannehill. Awaiting is the massive T.J. Barnes.
Bill Lazor, the offensive coordinator, told us that Tannehill loves to keep it on these zone reads. And Lazor said, I don't want you keeping it. Give it whenever you can. This time he's reading the defensive end, and he chooses to keep it. And number 99, T.J. Barnes, smashes Tannehill. I don't want my quarterback getting too many of these hits. I promise you that.
Reading the end, but the tackle blew up the guard. Darren Collins got beaten there. 2nd and 11. Tannehill across the middle. It's nowhere to go for Jarvis Landry, who gets hit hard. John, all those close calls are the reason that Miami's right on the edge of this close wild card chase. And again, the importance. There are 5 teams ahead of you. It's like the TSA line at O'Hare. A whole bunch of people waiting in line. You don't want to get behind them. You want to be right there with them. Massive 1.5 here for the Dolphins.
Dolphin fans been waiting too long, Mike. 5 consecutive seasons without a winning season. They want to return to the Don Shula glory days. They need to win on the road in December and get the party started.
Comes 3rd and 7. Jets bringing pressure. Blocked up nicely, and Tannehill's throw is too tall. Incomplete. Intended again for Landry.
Muddy coverages. And I mean, you don't know what the coverage is sometimes. It's man-to-man on certain sides of the field. On other sides, they zone it off. But here's a blitz coming from the Jets, and they play a zone coverage. They fool you repeatedly. That's why Rex Ryan, you must give him credit. Since he's been in New York, they stop the forward pass better than any team in the league.
Curley awaits. Fields kicks. 64 on the kick from the 21. Curley returns it 9 yards, and the Jets will take over right around their 30. Special teams play for the 2nd time this quarter by Jason Trusler. We're watching Jets Dolphins for the 98th time. Let's go back to 1969. Bob Greasy and Joe Namath, a couple of Hall of Famers head-to-head. Touchdown passes galore. 4 for Greasy, 3 for Namath, including that one to Don Maynard. Block kick helped factor in. Jim Turner straight on at Shea Stadium. With the field goal, the Jets beat the Dolphins. 7 touchdowns combined in the passing game for Greasy and Namath.
What a game.
Saw Namath on the field earlier. Joe's name at the Ring of Honor. And there's Grease, our former colleague at ABC. Bob doing a terrific job with the Dolphins radio. Always great to visit with him as well. Marino in the stadium tonight. Some Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the building. And it's Geno Smith against Ryan Tannehill, young quarterbacks on the field. Harvin cannot turn the corner. Olivier Vernon showing very good speed off the end.
Olivier Vernon says, I have seen that act before. It's the third reverse we've seen tonight. That time Vernon stayed at home and forced Harvin out of bounds. Unheralded player out of the Miami Hurricane factory has come to the Dolphins and played outstanding football against the run and the pass.
2nd and 9. Chris Johnson, good dance to the left to find space. There was not much there. Dolphins just trying to close up every opening here in this run-based night for the Jets.
These Jet fans want to see a forward pass. He just showed Broadway Joe throwing it. So far tonight, Geno Smith, 4 completions on 7 attempts. Look at that play selection. I have not seen that unless I've been at a game with a monsoon.
Yeah. With Georgia Tech playing. Or the service academies. Bilal Powell's the back. It's 3rd and 5. Smith flips it out. Harvin can't get there. It's incomplete.
Cameron Wake in Geno Smith's face. Tried to fool Brent Grimes, and they created a one-on-one for Harvin, but once again, it's just out of reach. Jets cannot make a play passing the football on a consistent basis for a while.
Every Jet drive had gone into Miami territory before that one. Pressure on, and they get a piece of the Quigley kick. And touched first at the 44-yard line as Dion Jordan, the number 3 overall pick of the draft a year ago, who's had many problems seeing the field, has made his 2nd big block of the year.
It's what he does best. He did this at Oregon. He excelled on special teams, and he returned a block kick against Detroit a few weeks ago, and here he is extending that long wingspan and getting it done, and he sets up Tannehill in great field position. Good to see Jordan make a play for these Dolphins.
Jordan, the number 3 overall pick, suspended twice, a couple of failed drug tests, out the first 6 games. Was a little slow getting that kick off. And the Dolphins take over with a great opportunity to even this game. Credited as a 6-yard punt. Tannehill. Pressure. Got rid of it, and it bounces right into the hands of Darren Walls. Walls picking up blocks. Brought down by Miller at the 30.
Under duress. A poor throw to the outside. Miller can't handle it. And finally, the Jets cash in. Let's see if it stands.
Yeah, let's see if it hits the ground here. That is off the hand, not close to the ground. And into the arms of Walls. Former practice squatter with the Jets will be credited with an interception.
When you have a turnover or a negative play in special teams, you rely on your sudden change defense to deliver. What a huge play by Walls and the Jets.
2nd interception of the career for Walls. It's the 8th takeaway for the Jets this year, and they run it. Koa Misi in there trying to pull the ball away from Chris Johnson. Gain him just a couple of yards, John.
And Tannehill has got to find a way to pick the Dolphins up. He's on the road. They've had some turnover problems late in games. One last week against Denver. He's got to get himself together, shake this off, and he's got to find a way to rally this Dolphin offense. Somebody needs to pick this football team up, and it has to be the quarterback.
On 2nd and 8, here's Johnson to the left. Ibushi, the guard, trying to get out there and block, but it was too good from Miami, who now are dialing in to this Jets run-based game.
There's nowhere to go. The Jets are loading up. You see a single safety. They bring another one into the box, and they have the Jets outnumbered. They do a nice job forcing it back to the inside, and Olivier Vernon is getting it done. 3rd down and long. The Dolphins haven't had a chance to unleash a blitz. Let's see if they bring it.
The 30. Geno Smith is hit and sacked. Cameron Wake for the loss of 9.
That's what you want to see Cameron Wake do. The ex-Canadian star runs right over the right side of the Jet offensive line. Watch Cumberland. In pass protection, he has no chance with help from Bilal Powell. That is a punishing impact play for the Dolphin defense.
Because John had pushed him out of field goal range. Remember, Folk barely made that last field goal of 45 yards. From here, the attempt would be 56. So it's another punt for Quigley, and the Jets got to shore that up as well. Quigley gets it away. It's fair caught at the 8-yard line by Jarvis Landry. As we said, when it's Jets and Dolphins, records are out. Rivalry's great. One of the men who made the rivalry great joins us on the phone from South Florida. Hello, Coach Don Shula. How you doing?
Good. Enjoy the game.
Yeah, what memories come back to you, Coach, when you see the Jets and the Dolphins meeting, and you were a part of so many of these rivalries?
Well, the one that I don't want coming back is one that has something to do with Joe Namath. So that was never fun recalling that. But, you know, he made some great plays, a great prediction, and ended up making it happen. And, you know, that had a big influence on my career, and certainly Joe and his career in New York and the Jets fans.
And of course, Super Bowl. Yeah, Super Bowl III played in Miami at the Orange Bowl when Coach Shula was coaching the Baltimore Colts, and that win for the ages for the Jets. But Coach Shula's Dolphins had their day against the Jets over the years. Tannehill here from the 9-yard line will fire complete, and Mike Wallace gets it to the 27-yard line.
Coach Shula, what was your advice to the Miami Dolphin players in December in a big playoff stretch?
Well, just to make sure that we knew what we were being asked to do totally. We couldn't afford to make any mental errors. Physically, we wanted to be in the best shape that we could, injury-wise and conditioning-wise, and then make sure that you didn't do anything that you know, that beat yourself. You're on top of all the situations, well prepared, and just play the best game that you can play.
Watching Dan Marino, he's now working with the organization. Coach, you see Joe Philbin, Ryan Tannehill. Are you getting the sense that the pieces are in place to get the Dolphins back to successful football?
I like what's going on down there. I like Tannehill, and I like Joe Philbin a lot. And anything that Dan Marino can contribute, you know, it's got to be helpful to him for, you know, what Dan went through as a player and his ability to throw the football better than anyone's ever thrown the football. So I think that those are all positive things, and now they just got to make it happen, put it together, and you know, the only way that you prove that it's getting better is by winning.
And doing it in December like you did for so many years, winningest coach in the history of the league. Coach, great to catch up with you again. All our best. We look forward to seeing you down the line.
Good. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Don Shula joining us on the phone as he watches along with you. Miller, the gain of 5. 3 plays on the drive here for Miami, 36 yards. Trying to find a tying touchdown late in the 3rd. Tannehill throws. It's Gator Hoskins, the rookie out of Marshall, immediately tackled by DeJuan Landry as the 3rd quarter comes to a close. After 3, Jets 13, Dolphins 6.
ESPN celebrating 45 years of Monday Night Football.
Dolphins trail 13-6. Can they turn it around? It is over a decade. They've only won once in the last 49 road games when they trail at any point in the fourth quarter.
Oh, that's painful, Mike. That has got to stop, and it's got to stop tonight if you're Joe Philbin and Ryan Tannehill.
The lone win last year in Pittsburgh, a fourth quarter rally. On the road, can they do it at the Jets? 3rd and 5. Tannehill is blitzed. Gets out of the pocket, puts it up to Wallace. Can't get there. Ball thrown out of bounds and incomplete. The Jets pressure forced it out.
I don't know if Ryan's throwing that ball away or he's trying to hit Wallace, who's clearly behind coverage. But once again, a spontaneous blitz. They drop Sheldon Richardson, one of their best pass rushers, and here's Curley again.
Here's Fields again. He's had an excellent night kicking. We mentioned it's been not the best of seasons. Curley stands at his own 10. Fair catch signal. The kick is 46. And Curley takes a step back to grab it. Jets take over at the 9. Quarterbacks of the Jets, where they've been since 2009. Sanchez is in Philly. Clemens is backing up. Tim Tebow and Greg McElroy, I saw them on the SEC network this weekend. They only played here a couple of years ago. Right now it's Geno Smith with Michael Vick replacing Smith for 3 games, and now Smith back in for a second stint. The point is, for Jets fans under their Christmas tree, will they find the quarterback of the future? They had a guy here who is now having success in Mark Sanchez.
You better not bring that name up too loud. He's having a lot of success on the #1 ranked offense in football, I think, Mike. It's got to be killing Rex Ryan, the success that Sanchez is having right down the street.
Penalty on that return on Ekamefuna Enampali of the Jets pushed them back inside the 5. That's where the drive starts. And the fullback Connor gains a couple of yards. Who's next if it's not Geno Smith? The college players, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Brett Hundley. Those are the names we'll be hearing around draft time. And then the free agent quarterbacks that are out there, including Mark Sanchez, who probably is the biggest free agent name available. There's no way he would come back here, right?
I don't know.
There's no way he's getting out of Philly if he keeps succeeding, right?
I couldn't imagine that happening, but
Woody Johnson, Jets owner, fumble the football. In tight. Ivory trying to get back on it. And he does. Whoa, that was close. Dangerously close to a red zone turnover.
Having a hard time throwing it, obviously. Now they miss an exchange.
Hit Connor's arm.
Comes clearly loose, and the Jets have to be very careful on 3rd down and 9 because Cameron Wake ran right through him on the last 3rd and long. Expect a quick pass or a run.
Dolphins confused defensively. They had 12 on the field trying to run one off. And forced to take the timeout so they don't get
Second
trapped.
charge timeout, Miami.
Used one earlier with the challenge. It didn't succeed, so Miami's down to a final timeout. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by IBM. Today there's a new way to work, and it's made with IBM. DirecTV, if you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. NFL.com/mobile. Stream live local Sunday and primetime games on your smartphone. And Unbroken in theaters Christmas Day. Christmas Day is coming. The Romp family comes from Vermont. And their Christmas tree farm, they sell them in New York City. They've been doing it for a quarter of a century. 3rd and 9. Jets almost turned it over last play. Clean handoff here to Ivory, who is stopped by Rashad Jones. And the Jets will be forced to punt out of their own end zone.
Well, they better bring a flanker in motion at least to block Rashad Jones. Somebody has to get in position to block number 20, who just comes unscathed off the left side of the screen and makes a form tackle.
3rd straight 3 and out for the Jets. Ryan Quigley pressured heavily, partially blocked earlier. Coming right in on him. No flag for running into the kicker. Landry trying to run up and catch it. Couldn't get there, but it goes out of bounds shy of midfield. Miami ball at the Jets 49. Flag down far side of the field as they sort that out. Falcons and Packers will see Matty Ice in the ice cold against red-hot Aaron Rodgers.
We're going to see
8:15 Eastern.
We're going to see some forward passes too, Mike.
More than
I can't wait for this one because this cat can throw it, man, and he is red hot. He's taking it to everybody, especially in Lambeau Field, and he's got an array of receivers that can go get it. Mike McCarthy and the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field against Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons, a battle for first place. Can't wait to see that area this morning.
Both teams division leaders. Big win for the Falcons against Arizona yesterday. Still sorting on this flag.
During the kick, holding number 15 of the kicking team. Miami is elected to add the 10-yard penalty to the end of the kick. It's Miami's ball, first down.
That'll be at the Jets 39, so that's rare. The kicking team with a hold call there. Salim Akeem. Gunner. That's it. He grabbed the jersey of R.J. Stanford, the clear jersey pull, thus the flag. On the brother of the former Ram, Azaki.
A little touchy there.
What a great opportunity for Miami to tie the game. Jets territory, they take over at the New York 39. Had an opportunity earlier, similar situation, turned it over. Tannehill, play action, looking, got the crosser. There goes Jarvis Landry into the red zone. First and 10 at the 14.
I call that a beautiful route by Jarvis Landry. They ran the same action earlier, and he ran a deep cross. That time he put his foot in the ground and went back to the corner, completely fooled the Jet defense. Watch him sell the cross. He comes back to the corner. No one's home. Leading receiver of the Dolphins, just a rookie, continues to make plays when needed.
Ties the longest of the night. Mike Wallace had a 25-yard reception earlier. At the 14, keeper for Tannehill. 5 to the 9. DeMario Davis, the tackle.
He is a nuisance. Tannehill, the former wide receiver at Texas A&M, adding the zone read to this Miami Dolphin offense, and it's hard when you have to account for all these receivers. Lamar Miller and Tannehill play in and play out.
It will be Miller cutting back to the right, hard hit at just about the 7-yard line. 3rd and 3 ahead.
We watch these Jets practice, Mike, and Kenrick Ellis, number 93, T.J. Barnes. Massive New York Jets on the interior of this defense. I expect the bootleg or the pocket to move with the athletic Tannehill here on 3rd down.
Very efficient in the red zone last week. They had not been leading up to that. 3rd and 2, they go for the run, slam it up in the middle, and Miller gives them 1st and goal at the 4.
Wow, right into the teeth of the Jet front. Just an inside run. You see Pouncey, Samson, Satelli at center. Reach block, Shelley Smith at left guard. Good pad level, Dolphins. 1st and goal inside the 5.
Damian Williams, the rookie out of Oklahoma, is next to Tannehill. Rolls it to the right, throwing for the touchdown. Covered well, Brandon Gibson in the end zone. 2nd down.
Tannehill should hit that. Sprint out to his right. His throwing shoulder, and it's just going to be a simple, quick corner route by Brandon Gibson. Got to make this throw. All just sails on Tannehill. He's got to make plays like that at crunch time.
Wallace came around in motion to give to Miller for the score.
Great finish by Lamar Miller. A lot of diversion in this Dolphin running game. They send Wallace on a reverse. They freeze the Jets, and Lamar Miller pounds them. You're going to see the reverse threat. It neutralizes the Jets just enough. They're outflanked on the backside, and Lamar Miller punishes them. Well executed.
Well, you talk about the impact of that. The safety Landry was going right with the motion man Wallace to tie the game. Sturgis. First Dolphin touchdown of the night. After their defense forced the 3 and out, Lamar Miller punched it in. New game at 13. On this 41-degree night in East Rutherford, New Jersey, our coverage from Spider Cam is brought to you by DirecTV. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Lisa Salters. MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. 41 on the thermometer, feels cooler. Northwest wind, it's in the 30s. Pop-up kick again by Sturgis to keep it away from Percy Harvin. And it is caught by the Jets' Chris Pantale. Just signed off the practice squad today when they cut Antoine Barnes. And the tight end Pantale from Boston College takes it just shy of the 40. The Dolphins aren't out of the division race, John. If they win tonight, they're 2 behind the Patriots. They've already defeated New England head-to-head. They go to Foxborough for their only remaining road game. But of more reality, the chase for that last wild card spot. Can they join the Chiefs and the Bills and the Ravens and the Steelers and the Browns at 7-5? Or do they fall a game behind a bunch of good teams heading to the final quarter of the season? Geno Smith on the move for the first down.
Cameron Wake might be shaken up. Cumberland on a peel back block. Cut Cameron Wake down on this bootleg play. I hope he's all right. It's a legal block, but the veteran still down.
Just hate to see that play. Players truly unprotected, can't see the guy coming. Cumberland goes down low. Joe Philbin and the Dolphins saw it on the screen, the replay screen, and they are barking at the officials. How did you not see that? As it was one he could not see. Wake being cut low. The rules in the game to protect the players from situations like this.
Boy. It's awful close, Mike. But
yeah, it comes back. We don't
those
see
are the kind of blocks that we're trying to eliminate
yes.
from football, Mike. And let's hope Wake is all right. Clearly, Joe Philbin is not happy about that, and I can't say I blame him at all.
Go back to the old school days of the penalty clipping, which you rarely see called anymore. That was so close to that play. You always see the push in the back and the other stuff. In any case, Smith's first run got him a first down. Here he goes again. Olivier Vernon brings him down to the 42-yard line, and now pushing behind the play as the Dolphins are really mad and a flag is thrown. The Dolphins feel there was an injustice for the flag not thrown, and they're trying to be their own arbiter.
It's like Shelby, number 79, and Abouche, 75 of the Jets. After the whistle, Abouche, 75, way behind the action.
Starts with
he's gonna.
They're offsetting dead ball personal fouls on both teams. Those fouls will offset. The down counts. It's second down.
Started with Shelby, who came in for Wake.
Miami's got to keep their poise now. They have to forget about what happened. That time, Geno Smith taking a shot against Brent Grimes. I am shocked that the Jets have not worked the other side. Jimmy Wilson checking back in for Miami, but TJ Stanford, number 41, is the 5th different right corner I've seen play for Miami. At some point in time, you've got to give Decker a chance.
At the 43, Chris Johnson runs it right a yard shy of the first down.
Dolphins defense in the second half. There's an 8-man front. There's 4 on each side, and they're outnumbering you. And if you get into a 2-back set, there's a 9-man front. There's just nowhere to go. The Dolphins are daring Marty Mornhinweg and Rex Ryan to let Geno Smith beat us with his arm. And on 3rd down and 2, it's back to the 2-back set against this loaded Dolphin front.
Jets have thrown it less than 10 times tonight. Ivory got the first down, 35-yard line.
John Connor in the hole. You want to be a fullback, you got to make these kind of blocks. Straight up in the hole, number 38 Connor against Jelani Jenkins does just enough to spring Ivory for a huge first down.
Dolphins sideline telling us that the Wake is probable to return. He has his helmet on the sideline. Jets keep the drive alive. Field goal gives them the lead. The quick pivot gives to Johnson. To the 21, a gain of 14, and Chris Johnson over 100 yards for the first time as a New York Jets.
Keep running right. If you're going to run behind this double team. And let quick Chris Johnson accelerate through the hole. Done it a long time and done it very well.
Halfway through the 4th. Harvin will take it on the jet sweep. 3 yards into the red zone to the 19-yard line. Percy Harvin, a lot of talk, paid a lot of money, very limited impact so far here for the Jets, save for 1 game at Kansas City this year.
Well, they run that jet sweep, and they don't block anybody at the point of attack. They're counting on Harvin's speed to get the edge, but it's hard to get that play in pro football very often. And it's loaded, Mike. Decker at the bottom of the screen, one-on-one all night.
2nd and 6, Johnson right. No gain. So you've obviously decided during the week that we can run on Miami just like Denver did. You've also decided Geno Smith's back at quarterback. We're going to ease him in. We're not going to make him win or lose the game. But at some point, don't you need to throw just a little bit more?
Well, we gave Decker millions of dollars,
right,
to come in here. He was with Peyton Manning last year. Decker probably thinks he's playing with Tim Tebow again. Poor Decker, he's had a tough go here in New York. He's probably confused, but this is TJ Stanford, a man that just showed up to play one-on-one coverage against Eric Decker.
3rd and 7, Miami shows pressure. They bring it. Geno Smith is sacked, and perhaps why they are not throwing the ball. Koamisi gets in there and will force a 45-yard field goal attempt by Fulton.
This is just bad by the Jets. This is an all-out blitz. They're going to be one short. They're bringing 8. You only have 7 in protection. The ball has to come out or you need an audible. This is frustrating for any Jet fan. It's frustrating for me, Mike.
Nick Folk from 45 for the lead. To the left. Still good.
Jets are doing everything they can to lose this football game. And Miami has lost 48 out of their last 49 road games in the 4th quarter when they've trailed. They might change that tonight.
And here tonight, NFL athletes grew up playing in communities all across America. Now through NFL Play 60, they're encouraging kids in neighborhoods everywhere to come out and play for 60 minutes a day to learn how NFL stars played as kids. To find great play ideas, visit NFLrush.com/play60. I'm assuming that beer there was consumed by an adult just sitting in front of the kid. Dolphins take over at their own 35. Another Jets drive deep into Miami territory brings up no points. Here's Miller. Good stop on a dime and a cutback. Lamar Miller for 8 yards. 5.5 to go. You're down to one of the final possessions of this game for Joe Philbin, who knows that December is in their grasp. They have 5 games, 2 against Rex Ryan's Jets, a team eliminated. Can Tannehill step up, the third-year quarterback, win the close games, ruin Geno Smith's return to the starting lineup? Hard count gets the Jets. It'll be a Miami first down either way. Offsides on the defense.
Tannehill with an excellent hard count. He got Buffalo a couple weeks ago twice. That time he gets the Jets.
Offside. Defense. Number 58 and number 97. It's a 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
Quick count, excuse me, Mike. Quick count, hard count, dummy snap count, up-tempo offense. They do an excellent job in Miami using this snap count as a weapon.
See what's at stake for the Dolphins. Still have Baltimore and at New England left. Jets right now, wind picking up into the Dolphins. Tannehill throwing to the middle. It's complete to the tight end Sims. Deion Sims takes it to the 35, and Miami's center, Samson Satele, is injured.
Same play they had in the first half. You're going to see number 80, Deion Sims, right down the seam. They got off Jarvis Landry. He read it perfectly, and the ball's well thrown. And let's hope Satele is okay, but a huge first down for Miami as they stay on the move.
Second big catch for Sims. We'll check on Satele. Samson Satele walked off. He got hit by Sheldon Richardson, who was double teamed, and in the ricochet action, the lineman hit Satele in the side. So that means that Mike Pouncey, the starting guard, Pro Bowl center last year, moves over to center. It's a rare, great luxury for a team to have when their starter gets hurt. 1st and 10. Tannehill. Escapes, sideline throw incomplete for Jarvis Landry.
One thing about Pouncey, Mike, he's an outstanding center. He's a very good athlete. Missed the first 4 weeks with that hip problem. But he has had some errant snaps in his background. And having played right guard, keep an eye on that snap accuracy, because every single play these Dolphins are in the gun.
Darren College and Shelley Smith, 67 and 66, had been sharing time at left guard. That means they just both go in here now together, splitting sides. Here's Miller with a run to the 31-yard line.
This is where you want to see Ryan Tannehill. 4th quarter, tie ball game, 3rd down, game on the line.
That John, right here would be kind of on the edge of Sturgis's field goal range. He's made a 51-yarder, but the wind is freshened, and it's a cold wind blowing into the Dolphins right now. So this could be 4-down territory.
Going to need to throw the football. Miami must pass protect.
Third and 7. Tannehill over the middle. It's caught for the first down. And Deion Sims takes it to the 14-yard line.
This could be a huge moment for the young quarterback. And Joe Philbin knows it. Watch Deion Sims hook right over the ball. It's the play we talked about in the pregame warm-up, Mike. It's X shallow cross, an old-fashioned West Coast offensive play. And Tannehill executes it to perfection. A huge first down.
And a big game for the former Michigan State Spartan. Sims has catches of 20, 18, and 17. Those last 2 on this drive. Inside of 3 minutes. Miller shut out. Damon Harrison, man nicknamed Snacks, and a slim down 338 makes the stop.
Jets got to consider taking a timeout. They've got all 3 left. And if they're going to run the ball all night, they might need as much time as possible.
Right.
But New York cannot let Miami burn too much time. They must use their timeouts and the 2-minute clock stoppage in a hurry.
And Rex Ryan just told the official down on that end, after this play, I want a timeout. So he knows it, and Rex will catch up to him. Miami bleeding clock here. Second down, Tannehill from the pocket, over the middle, complete. Miller tackles him at the 11. The timeout comes by New York at 2:07 to go. Jets timeout, they have 2 left.
Mike Wallace wide open. Watch him break back to the corner on this shake route. Nobody's home, and he's shocked he didn't get to see the ball on that play.
Ryan Tannehill has been a growth season. His first 3 years in the league, this is 3rd. Best numbers of his career this year. But this year in the 4th quarter, he has not been as good. Completion percentage comes down. A third of his picks have been thrown in the 4th quarter. And this is what you said right at the beginning of the game. Need to see him grow, need to see him close and win the games that the other quarterbacks have beaten the Dolphins, like Manning and Rodgers and Stafford.
That's why Dan Marino is helping Ryan Tannehill to get through these types of moments. Here he is.
Bunch to the left, 3 receivers, 5 in the pattern. Tannehill throws complete. Gibson short of the first down. And the Jets will not use the timeout at 2:02. It goes down to the 2-minute warning as Miami gets the field goal to perhaps take the lead.
Hi, folks. 2-minute warning, and we're all tied up. Steve Levy once again in for Stuart Scott. Coming up, it's the GMC post-game report. Ray Lewis, Trent Dilfer, and Steve Young will join me. We'll break down the game, all the highlights, analysis, and reaction. Hey, Mike Pettin, I'm sure you're watching. The fellas will tell you who they think should be your starting quarterback, Hoyer or Manziel. We'll count down the top 10 plays from Week 13 in the NFL. See you on SportsCenter after the game. Mike and John, up to you.
All right, Leaves, thank you. So here we go. Miami a field goal for the lead. It's the 5th-round pick of last year. Caleb Sturgis. Brandon Fields, the punter, is the holder. John Denny, playing a Dolphins record 156th consecutive game, is the long snapper. It's a short one. It's only 26 yards, but nothing is easy in this cold weather. Caleb Sturgis for the lead. And Miami on top. A chance to do something the Dolphins have done only once in the last decade. Rally on the road, rally in the 4th quarter, and win a game. Now it's up to their defense to keep the Jets out of field goal range.
Well, you want to find out about Geno Smith. He hasn't had very many opportunities tonight now. He's only thrown it 8 times. I know his arm isn't sore, but it's these kind of situations that you have to make the evaluation of Geno Smith under. Can he take the Jets with 1:57, 2 timeouts left, down the field and at least tie this football game? You're in a 4-down situation.
Those are numbers, John, that usually look like a drive for a quarterback, not the whole night.
I know, and this is not a team that functions very well in an obvious passing situation. They're going to struggle blocking the Miami Dolphins, and if I'm Kevin Coyle and Joe Philbin, I am knocking on Cameron Wake's door, Jared Odrick, and I'm telling these men to finish the Jets.
Now, one thing the Dolphins have done, and Sturgis kicked it out of bounds once, giving the Jets the ball at the 40, was try to kick it away from Percy Harvin. They're kicking into the wind, so a kick deep would be probably only to the goal line. See what Sturgis does. Harvin sneaking up to try to get the short kick, and Sturgis pounds it the other way, and he did a great job, and he's being congratulated by his teammates as they come off the field.
Oh, just too many missed opportunities. This is a corner route. You've got to give Harvin a chance to make this catch. And then the Jets drop an interception. Pace it hit him right in his hands. And then they don't audible. They fail to read the blitz. They get knocked out of field goal position. Nick Folk has even missed a couple field goals. If you can't throw, you can't score, and you can't win. The Jets are going to have to throw here or they're done.
Geno Smith stepping up to take off. It'll be a gain of a half yard, so no sack, but essentially a bring down by Olivier Vernon. The Jets have thrown 8 passes tonight, John. The league low for a team this year is 16 by the Chiefs. Jets are just halfway there with a minute and a half left in the game. Smith sets up the screen, and there goes Bilal Powell. Gain of 11, first down for New York. 122 and 2 timeouts.
Sooner or later, you're going to have to push the football. Help is needed on the right side against Cameron Wake.
Smith pressured, tries to get rid of it to the back. Powell incomplete, and Koamisi and Olivier Vernon.
Blitz off the right side. The Jets just look ill-prepared in handling the blitz. Whenever Miami brings it, Dolphins are unblocked everywhere. Geno Smith has to either read it and audible or throw a side adjustment somewhere, but it has not even been competitive against these Dolphins when they try to throw the football.
A lot of Dolphin fans here making noise. Throw is complete underneath for Jeremy Curley, trying to get to the sideline. It is a gain of 2. Michael Vick almost got hurt on the sideline. Minute 2 left, third down for the Jets.
I'm speechless. You have Nick Mangold, DeBrickashaw Ferguson. A corner, R.J. Stanford. I think it's the 9th time I brought his name up.
How long has he been here?
He's been here for 4 days. He was cut by the Bengals and brought back to play right corner. Max the protection, give Decker a chance, and see if Stanford can cover him.
Dolphins drop 2 safeties deep. They bring pressure. The slant to Decker is caught for the first down. There you go. At the 44-yard line. Turning clock. 50 seconds.
Do it again. The Dolphins are blitzing. Now they retreat back into a double zone.
Smith for the middle. Cumberland, the tight end. Deflected in the air and intercepted. Jones should just go down. He does. And the Dolphins will come up with a huge win at the Jets.
A huge signature win for the Jets. They find a way to come from behind and win on the road, something they have not done recently in a long time. 2 deep, man-to-man underneath, and Jelani Jenkins covers Cumberland, forces the tip, and Rashad Jones and Louis Delmas, the ex-Detroit Lion, lead the celebration. What a miserable night throwing the football. I can't say I've seen anything like this in a long time, Mike.
Geno Smith, 7 of 13. 1 interception. Dropped back to pass 15 times tonight. Jets they went back to the old ground and pound. 3 quarters run, 1 quarter pass. Tannehill will take a knee, and the Dolphins will take their spot in the big mosh pit at 7-5. What do they sing down in Miami? Fins to the left. Move the Fins off in the hunt column for the moment to the left. The last wild card spot for the moment at 7-5. But tied to the Chiefs and the Bills and the Ravens and the Steelers and the Browns. What an exciting last quarter of the season is about to begin.
Yes, I see.
Welcome to December football. And it's going to be a whole month of that leading up to the playoffs. The GMC postgame is next. Trent Dilfer, Steve Young, Ray Lewis, Steve Levy will be on the field. Scott Van Pelt back to the studio, anchoring it all. Our final score at MetLife Stadium tonight. The Dolphins 16, 2-10 Jets 13. John Gruden, Lisa Salters, Jay Roth, and Chip Dean, and the great women and men of our Monday Night crew, Mike Tirico. Good night from Miami. We'll see you from Lambeau next week. Here comes SportsCenter.